Biju Jantar Dal Member of Parliament Panda has created a stir in the political circles after he revealed for several years he has been returning his salary and daily allowance in the same proportion as the time that has been lost in the Lok Sabha due to disruptions. In fact, the MP caused quite a stir on Twitter also with his gesture. He called the move symbolic. The BJD leader says lawmakers need to introspect on disruption caused in the parliament. Panda's comments has put lawmakers from across the party spectrum into dilemma. In fact, most lawmakers say Panda has acted in his personal capacity. Not all parliamentarians can follow. Manish of the Congress party on the phone line joining us on this. Mr. Iyer, thank you so much for speaking to us here on India Today, sir. Would you, in personal capacity, would like to follow the suit, the example that Jay Panda is setting, sir?
I think Jay Panda is quite right in protesting this very repeated close down of Parliament. And my last 6 years in Parliament, which were all spent in the Rajya Sabha, was a truly dreadful experience. So much so that when, after I retired, I learned that Parliament is going to convene for the monsoon session, my only sentiment was one of relief that I didn't have to go back to that house and then watch it all being closed down. So in principle, I certainly endorse the idea that we must ensure that Parliament actually runs, that it's a platform for discussion and not for demonstration.
Yes.
I'm not sure that all of us should follow his example. He has returned, I'm told, his salary and some allowances.
Yes.
That perhaps he can afford to do, and others perhaps are not able to afford to do that.
Sir,
but it's not as if all of us want to walk out of Parliament. It is the leadership that orders us to sit or orders us to go. And so I don't think you're going to be very effective with an individual protest of this kind.
Yeah, Mr. Iyer, but you know, apart from being, of course, a member of a political party,
and work out
yes,
a code of conduct. And for this, I really hold the presidents of the two houses, the Speaker and the Chairman of the Rajya Sabha, as the ones who are responsible for calling the parties together and trying to get them to discover some mode of not demonstrating and allowing the debate to take place. And I also think the media has a huge responsibility. The media loves it when Parliament is disrupted.
Some media has also been highlighting the amount of money that is being wasted in these disruptions. Mr. Iyer, Mr. Ali Anwar of the JNUSU is also joining us. Before I go to him, sir, very quickly, sir, but like in private sector, like where I work, if I'm absent from work, if I don't work, I don't get paid. Shouldn't the same be followed for all the parliamentarians as well? If you don't work, if you walk out, if you disrupt, you won't get the salary for the day.
No, but that is to assume that you're not working when you walk out. After all, the job of an MP is not the job of a TV anchor. Our job is to express in the most effective terms possible our objection to something or the other. And the media are collaborating in this. Because when we object and disrupt, then you report us. When we do our work normally, you may report what the leaders say, but you don't report what the bulk of the parliamentarians say. And therefore, unless everybody changes his attitude, and the press galleries are full when the debate takes place, and not full when there's disruption,
yes,
only then it's a social responsibility. And this idea of just trying to score the MPs and claim that the rest of you are lily white because you're paid for the work you do is, I think, a completely mistaken attitude.
Right. Valid points being made there by Mr. Manish Kanhaiya. Well, let me also quickly go across to Mr. Ali Anwar of the JDU. So, Mr. Panda of the BJD has returned the money for the days, the salary for the days and allowances for the days in which the parliament is disrupted. He has set an example, sir. Do you think all parliamentarians should follow that example? Would you do it yourself, sir?
नहीं, पांडा साहब का हो सकता है कि बिना सैलरी के भी काम चल जाए, लोगों को तो दिक्कत होगी ना। लेकिन मुख्य सवाल ये है कि वही पार्टी डिसरप्शन में शामिल नहीं थी, लेकिन हमने देखा राज्यसभा में कि अपोजिशन से तो ज्यादा डिसरप्शन का काम रूलिंग पार्टी कर रही थी, और उसने तो रिकॉर्ड किया प्ले कार्ड ले करके, और वो राज्यसभा में दिखाया और कई बार डिसरप्शन किया, लीडर अपोजिशन तक को नहीं बोलने दिया। तो ये काम तो वो कर रहे थे। अब सवाल सबसे ये है कि अगर वेतन काटा जाना चाहिए तो रूलिंग पार्टी के लोगों का काटा जाना चाहिए, प्रधानमंत्री का सैलरी उनको नहीं लेना चाहिए।
सर आप ये बार बार घूम फिर के बात वहीं आ जाती है कि रूलिंग का काटा जाना चाहिए, चाहे ऑपोजिशन का, लेकिन बड़ी बात जो लोग बाहर ओके सो वी हैव लॉस्ट that line with Mr. Ali Anwar, but he very clearly saying that not every MP can possibly do the same. They cannot afford. There are many MPs who in fact depend on the money that they get, but the big question is, are they performing the exact duty that they want? Manish are also making a very valid point that the media highlights it only when there is disruption. Other MPs don't get highlighted if they ask a question. But on the other hand, he also said that the leadership decides, despite the MPs wanting to ask questions sometimes, the leadership decides that they have to walk out. These numbers that are there on your screen, this will give you an idea of what has caused the kind of adjournments and what has been discussed in terms of minutes, in fact, in the parliament in this important session. Remember, the parliament session is when the MPs come together, brainstorm, they ask questions to the government replies about what is happening in the country.